Answer your phones, everybody. We have got a call. Hey everybody, Tyler here at The Movie Beat, back with another Korean video review. It's more of a reaction review because this one is out for everybody who has Netflix. And if you don't, it's time to get your 2-week, 14-day, whatever subscription to watch this film, Call. Literally, I have been waiting all year for this film. It was set to release back in March, but because of coronavirus, saw delay, and then postponement indefinitely. So finally, it came to Netflix and it just released on Friday, the 27th, and oh my god, it did not disappoint in the slightest. Directed by Lee Chung-hyun, who is a young, very promising. I can't wait to see what this director will do next. His first feature-length film. This one stars Park Shin-hye, who you probably saw from Heart Blackened. I have a review for that on my website. Jeon Jong-seo, who we saw in Burning. Her first major role, Burning, blew everybody away. We could not wait. I could not wait to see her in her next film, and I'm so glad it is in this amazing film, Call, an awesome thriller film. Let me give you guys a quick rundown of the plot. If you don't want to hear anything about the movie, just want to hear my reaction, I'll put a little timestamp box. You can skip through it down below. Here we go. It's not going to have any spoilers that you're going to find outside of a trailer or anything like that. So, boom. When So-yeon arrives at her old family home to put things in order, she receives an incoming call through the home landline from a young woman in panic named Young-se, who claims her mother is trying to burn her alive. After several frantic calls like this, the girls eventually get to talking and discover they are actually calling from the same phone and house, separated by 20 years, with So-yeon calling from the year 2020 and Young-se calling from 1999. In their newfound friendship, they decide to try and change each other's present lives and begin sharing knowledge that begins to reshape their realities in their presence. When Young-se goes as far as to prevent a family tragedy that resulted in the early death of So-yeon's father, So-yeon attempts to return the favor by helping Young-se avoid her tragic future. But as the alterations bring the girls happiness and freedom, unexpected consequences await as Young-se's psychotic tendencies begin to threaten So-yeon's future with her power to change history. Alright, so the initial premise of this film, everybody was thinking, okay, I've seen Ditto, boom, boom. I've seen Il Mare, boom, boom. The same concept of communicating, developing a relationship through time, using some kind of a magical source that can exchange those messages. In Ditto, it was a radio. In Il Mare, it was a mailbox. And in Call, it's of course a phone, a cellular phone, an old school landline phone. And a little bit worried that, it's going to follow kind of that same type tropes, all right, how much more of these are we going to get? Throw that away. Apparently we can do a lot more. This is a straight up thriller film. Those previous ones were dramas, and boy does it deliver in beautiful South Korean thriller fashion. I do think this is definitely one of the best Korean thrillers that I've seen in a long time. Of course, it does deal with like time travel and things like that, so all of the type of theories and scientific explanations, if there are, I think it's basically all theorized about whether or not how things would be changed. Just forget about that. This movie just deals with it, and you can change things. And all of those thought experiments I loved about this film that you did in schools or with your friends about if you could contact somebody, if you could go to the past, how that might change the future. Did we ever think that that person that we contacted might be a psychotic? I don't think so. So that is the scariest aspect of this film, that you could have somebody in the past that knows you, your family, they have contacted you, so they have access to you as a little kid, and they have access to your family, and they can do things to you that will change your future. So freaky. And I loved that the friendship that these girls establish, and then the eventual battle, the clash that happens, both of them have to kind of figure out Even Soyeon in the future, who's played by Park Shin-hye, she can figure out through like looking through news articles and things like that, maybe manipulate Young-suk, try to get her to go to certain places where she shouldn't be, things like that, that she can also change Young-suk's future from the future. So that aspect of this film was really, really fun to watch. So all of the worries that I had that I might expect certain twists or expect certain styles of this type of film to play out, I was right with this film. So I loved the writing in this one. I really liked the twists. I loved it. And it just didn't pull back either. I thought that this film might have been like reserved in some sense. Not at all. It is straight up, maybe not as much as like I Saw the Devil or anything like that, but it is up there with the places it's willing to go. You know, this is definitely like what we love about South Korean films. The stories will go places that films from Hollywood or really any place else in the world just wouldn't dare to go. They'd be like, oh, we shouldn't write that in, or that person can't die, or this person can't act like that. And when these girls start changing each other's presence, I loved the visual style in this film and how the realities started to warp. I couldn't believe just how good the special effects looked, especially for a Korean film. It looked beautiful. And speaking of beautiful, this film was shot like somebody went into my head and found out the exact thing that I wanted to see, because the colors, the cinematography, the lighting, everything was just perfect in my opinion. So beautiful to look at. This is definitely one of the best looking Korean films that came out this year. If you guys saw Believer, the soundtrack to that film, Dalapan, I think, is the composer. Also the composer on this film. The soundtrack is rocking. So I hope you have a good home sound system. Turn it up. Enjoy this one. I, for one, really, really hope that this becomes way more common in the future and that we do get more of these worldwide simultaneous releases for Korean films that everybody can enjoy at the same time, because just go watch this movie. Let's make it happen. Let's make this movie a success. It deserves it. It's worth it. I loved it. One of my favorites of the year by far. I'm going to rate it a very strong 8.5 out of 10. It could grow, that number could grow higher depending on my rewatch, which will happen very soon. So let me know what you guys think. A call when you do get to see it. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and until next time, keep watching movies.